Have you ever noticed that the loudest people in the room are often the ones who are the most insecure? I remember a time when I moved from city to city, a sort of modern-day nomad. I'd be in bustling New York one month, then find myself by the sea in Miami, or up in the cool mountains of Aspen. My entire life fit into a few bags: a laptop for work, a notebook for my thoughts, and a single ceramic cup for my morning coffee. I lived a life that was stripped down to the essentials. My routine was simple. I'd trade a small position in the financial markets in the morning, a focused hour of decision-making. Then I'd close the chart. The rest of the day was an open canvas. I'd take a long walk, disappear into the rhythm of the city, with no schedule to follow, no deadlines looming over me. There was just a profound sense of quiet. When I visited my hometown, people I'd known my whole life would ask, with a mix of curiosity and concern, "So, you don't work anymore?" I would just smile. I never felt the need to explain. I didn't pull out my phone to show them my trading account, nor did I try to make them understand the intricacies of my profession. Because I learned a quiet truth: once you're truly free, you don't need to announce it. Financial freedom isn't what they show you in the movies. It's not about flashy cars, sprawling houses, or the ever-increasing digits in a banking app. For me, it's the quiet luxury of waking up anywhere in the world, at any time I choose, without having to ask for anyone's permission. It's a freedom that is felt, not seen. There was a time when I felt compelled to justify my life to everyone. I work online, I'd say. I trade markets, or I analyze charts for a living. I was constantly on the defensive. But then, one day, realization hit me with the force of a quiet epiphany. If you have to constantly convince people of how you make your money, you aren't truly free. You are still a prisoner of their perception. Now, my life is different. I can be sitting in a quiet, sun-drenched cafe in San Francisco, or feel the salty breeze on my face by the beach in Miami. I can open a chart, make one clear, calculated decision, and then just walk away. There's no obsessive checking of my phone, no craving for praise or validation, and absolutely no need to prove anything to anyone, because the most profound form of freedom begins the very moment you stop explaining yourself. I used to be so easily offended when people would say, "Oh, you work online? Must be some kind of scam," or ask with a hint of condescension, "You don't have a real job." This would sting. I wanted to argue, to defend my choices, to show them my P&L reports and prove that I was successful. But then, one afternoon, standing in the middle of a vast green rice field, a thought washed over me. Why should I invest my energy in explaining myself when I am already living a life that they secretly dream about? A life of autonomy, of peace, of quiet control. So I stopped. I let go of the need for their approval. Now my days are my own. I wake up, brew a strong cup of coffee, and open my charts. If a clear, high probability setup presents itself, I trade. If not, I simply close my laptop and walk to the fields with my mom, talking about the simple things in life. Someone once asked me, with genuine bewilderment, "How come you're so free on a Monday morning?" I just smiled and replied, "I'm busy living." The slower I began to live, the clearer my vision became. I realized that no one was forcing me to rush anymore. Not my boss, not my clients, and most importantly, not even myself. I used to think that financial freedom was a destination, a finish line marked by a certain amount of money. I've come to understand that it's not about making a lot of money at all. It's about living a life without an audience. Back then, I craved admiration. I wanted people to look at me and think, "There goes the smart trader." Today, my desires are much simpler. I just want one quiet morning, one clear chart, one simple, well-executed trade, and a calm, untroubled heart. My mom doesn't really understand what I do for a living. She doesn't know what a candlestick chart is, or the difference between a bull and a bear market. But she knows that I am at peace. And in the end, that is more than enough. True wealth isn't about the numbers in your bank account. It's about the silence you can cultivate inside yourself. A while ago, I stopped posting my trades and my wins online. When I did, something magical happened. I got my time back. I suddenly had time to call old friends, not to talk about work or success, but to just talk about nothing important. I had time to walk through a quiet, unfamiliar town without feeling the urge to take photos for social media. Time to sit by a river in San Antonio and just eat a bowl of noodles by myself. Not for content, not for proof of a wonderful life, but just for the simple pleasure of it. That is when I realized the profound difference. I was just trying to live anymore. I was finally, truly living. Some days I wake up late. Some days I don't trade at all, okay? I go home and have dinner with my parents. Our conversations are beautifully mundane. We don't talk about money or markets. We talk about the broken blender, the neighbor's new puppy, the change in weather. And for the first time in a long time, I feel genuinely rich. It's not because I have more, but because I have discovered I don't need more. Many people chase financial freedom, envisioning a life of luxury hotels and first-class flights. And there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, freedom is much simpler. It's being able to eat a home-cooked meal with my family without constantly checking my phone for market updates or emails. I know people with millions in their accounts who still can't sleep at night. They wake up at 3 a.m. in a cold sweat to check the charts, terrified of losing even a single cent. They've escaped one cage, the 9 to 5, only to lock themselves in another, shinier, more glamorous one, but a cage nonetheless. Money can open the door to freedom, but only a sense of inner peace allows you to confidently walk through it. True freedom is the ability to turn everything off the charts, the news, the noise, and still feel completely whole. I used to be terrified that if I disappeared from the online world for a few weeks, people would forget about me. Now I see that's not a loss. That's liberation. Winning isn't about how much money you make. Winning is when you no longer need to win to feel valuable. I'm not the richest trader out there, not by a long shot. I can take a nap in the middle of the afternoon. I can walk in the warm sun, sit at a roadside cafe for an hour and not check my phone once. And that, to me, is the most authentic form of freedom. Today, I am rebuilding my life. Not from a new trading account, not from a new, supposedly foolproof system, but from within. Each morning starts with a simple ritual of coffee, sunlight, and one quiet question I ask myself: what do I truly need today? Sometimes the answer is nothing. And in those moments of simple contentment, I feel most alive. Because freedom isn't about having the ability to do nothing. It's about having the clarity to choose what truly matters, and the courage to let go of everything that doesn't. When I stopped chasing constant wins, the market stopped feeling like a battlefield. It became a mirror, reflecting my own inner state. If my mind is calm and centered, my trades are clear and decisive. If I feel restless or anxious, I have the wisdom to stay out of the market. And on the days when I don't trade at all, I still feel fulfilled. Wealth is no longer about profit. It's about not needing to trade a piece of yourself away for it. Trading is no longer my entire identity. It's just one part of a balanced, well-lived life. And that is why I can finally and honestly say I'm free. So, if you're out there chasing financial freedom, maybe just stop chasing for a second. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, can you live differently right now, even in a small way? Because real freedom doesn't start when you hit a certain number in your bank account. It starts the moment you realize you don't need to prove anything to anyone anymore. If you're still listening to this, it's probably because you feel it too, that quiet, gentle pull toward a softer, more meaningful life. Don't ignore that feeling. That's your soul quietly reminding you, you are already enough.